and Kadarius. All those you're aware of. So all in all, good work today. I let the guys practiced hard. They challenged each other. It's always tough coming from a day off, but the tempo was great. And again, they caught a break with the weather. It's nice and cool out here. But I was impressed with how they challenged each other. Time's yours.
Andy, you're so process and grind oriented, but I wonder if you find yourself doing anything visually or verbally to sort of keep the suggestion planted about what the big goal is here.
Yeah, so with the locker room the way it is, the guys know, what the plan is and what this does for you when you come out and work hard. And so I've got good leadership there, and you can't do it without that. You can't do it without guys buying in and understanding it. I mean, they're willing to work and push themselves, which ends up paying off for them when the season starts and throughout the season. So they trust that. The new guys are trusting the old guys are telling them.
And Joshua Williams was saying the other day that you've been saying edge as a sort of code word or keyword to keep them thinking about not being complacent. Is that correct? And is that
well, you want to maintain that. You want to maintain your edge as you go through daily. Make it a habit, and that edge helps drive you to be the best you can be that day. And then you finish that one, you line up the next day and do that. So it's a grind going through camp. Like I said, I mean, I like the effort that's being put forward. The mindset's good, so they're challenging each other, which is the most important thing.
What's it like? You see a guy like Justin Ross have a redshirt year to really learn the system and meetings to see how the guys operate on a week-to-week basis and have success so far in this meeting.
Yeah, he's doing good. It was a redshirt year that he probably didn't want to have, right, with the injury. But he's done a nice job. He had a good off season, and then he's worked his tail off here, and he just needs to keep doing that. It's how you answer the bell every day and push through it. So, but he's got the right mindset to do that.
Turk Wharton was back out there. What can he add to the defensive line now that he's getting healthy?
Turk has that great quickness and strength. Great combination there, good pass rusher, and he's strong. He's a strong player who has experience. So adding him into the mix is a good thing. That's a positive thing for us. We just got to take it slow as we go with him and make sure he's okay. Ramp him up there.
What would be a timeline for Turk to kind of get back into the mix?
Yeah, we'll see. We try to keep open communication with him and just see how it goes. Day by day, and that's the best way to handle these type of things. So serious injuries.
Coach, I know a lot of training camps, right? How much beyond like rule changes, limiting hits, how much does your training camp evolve each year? How different is this year from last year? And
yeah.
When you get new ideas, where do they come from since you've been the head coach for so long?
Yeah. So it's normally what you feed them, new plays, schemes, those type of things that challenges them. As far as the training camp goes, it's similar. Now the rules obviously dictate. We had a different conditioning program for the offensive defensive line. That means there's lightning. Offensive defensive line. You guys don't care. Offensive defensive line. But other than that, we keep it kind of the same. There's no easy way to get yourself into shape, football shape.
Last one, Sam.
And when you talk about it, like what comes to mind? Like, how do you define it?
Yeah, challenge each other. And if you can do that, every time I line up, I'm going to do my best against that guy. That's the edge.
All right, thank you.
All right, good.
You had the quote about Chris Jones. You want Chris Jones in training camp.
Yeah.
How much do you get involved? Do you talk to Chris? What's your role in this?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Chris, not necessarily about contract stuff. That's how I am about all things. I never talk about the contract. I just talk about football, how he's doing. I mean, he's working out. He's staying in shape. All that will handle itself, and all I can do is just be supportive, be a teammate. I mean, that's one of the guys that's been a staple of this organization for a long time. So hopefully we get him back in camp as soon as possible.
We got Justin Ross coming here later. Your impressions of his training camp?
Yeah, he's had a good one. Learning the offense fast. You can tell he's been in the offense for a year now. obviously making big plays, and he's getting more involved in those first team reps. And so, a guy that I have a lot of hope for, that he can be a really good player in this offense.
Messaging to teammates, how do you balance staying in the moment and the grind, but also kind of bringing up the big picture, just planning thoughts about that? Do you do a little bit of both?
We talked about that at the beginning of the first team meeting. You talk about the kind of the goal of the entire season, and then now it's every day. It's just getting better, making sure you're getting better in the classroom, getting better on the field, or watching film, whatever that is. And then whenever you get your opportunity, you go out there and make it happen. And that's all we kind of think about is day by day right now. And then I'm sure before that first game, we'll have that same conversation and then go game by game.
Do you have any kind of catchphrase that you just say, though, as a reminder of the big thing? Do you find yourself just saying? Or?
I'm not a catchphrase guy. I just try to keep guys motivated. That's just by continue to go out there and work, and just have that mindset every single day.
Work with Generic today. Just what have you seen from the beginning of camp on about what he brings to the table?
Yeah, I mean, he can catch the ball in the backfield. He can run the ball really well, and he's getting better and better with the protection stuff. So I think they're just continuing to get him reps. We're going to have a deep running back room, and it's always good to have those guys that we can trust to be in there for the big moments of the game.
I know coaches talked a lot about early in camp, especially push it. Don't be afraid to throw interceptions, and I know you embrace that. But is there a time in camp where you start scaling it back? Are there mileposts like, okay, now it's time to be more precise, and the mindset changes?
Not necessarily. It's just whenever you make a mistake, just don't do it again. I think just don't do repeat type of interceptions. If you throw a ball in a tight window, it gets tipped up or picked, I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's pushing it and trying to make it happen. If you throw a ball, but if you throw a ball and it does get picked and it's not in the right spot and it's a bad interception in your brain, just make sure you don't repeat that same mistake, learn from it, and just keep moving on.
All right, 1, 2, 3, quickly.
Patrick, you're a guy that has been successful with the impromptu plays, on the field. Rick, you talked about Richie James earlier. Keep running.
Yeah.
How long does it take for a guy to pick up on for you to keep running?
Well, I think Richie's been doing a great job of it. There's just some things I tell guys that I don't think you do in a lot of other offenses. I was scrambling to the left, and he tried to work back, and I told him just run down the other sideline. I'll still throw it to you. And I know that's not really taught in a lot of the other offenses, but just him having that mindset, knowing that the whole field's open at all times, and I'll throw it back across the field and try to keep it away from the defenders.
Quick.
Patrick, you see that competitive edge in you, and Andy talked about keeping that edge in the team. How do you instill that edge in the team?
Yeah, I think we all have it. We have a lot of guys out here that are super competitive, but it's about just doing it the right way. I mean, Trav punching the guy, not necessarily the way you want to do it, but you love the fire. You love to fire both sides of the ball, of trying to finish to the last second. But, I mean, that's just the type of guys we are. We're going to compete. We're going to argue out there on the football field, and we're going to love each other in the locker room because we got a lot of dudes that are super competitive on this team.
Last one, quickly. 2 straight years, there's been a lot of turnover in the wide receiver room. When was it last year that you sort of recognized that it was all going to fit together?
Just out here. It's kind of how I feel this year. I mean, it's just when you have a lot of guys that can rotate in and that I trust is going to do the right decision and make the right play and make the play when they're called upon, that's when you know you're in a good spot. And I feel like that now. I mean, you look at our depth chart of receivers, and I've always said every one of these twos can make the football team. And that speaks to Brett Veach, Coach Reid, bringing in the right guys, and these guys working their tail off. And, I mean, I've been in there with all type of different receivers, and we have a lot of guys that can make plays in that room.
All right, thank you. Brad has a plan for us to finish up